ni gital pa video na sima sakan diko mandir berum chaksuinga dal kimang dal ni video de yan anjni Meghalaya statue gital pa ka niamrang ko cabinet meeting emang pas kham ha aru mutam dengal na nangbarang hude dengal plang ha yan misal sani bako Meghalaya Chief Minister Conrad samani para katani ko nagsuanig tade tal dagat na singpa aro hanek khana singpa electricity ay barang ko ba dingal pla ha maina manirang problem ani asel angkarang na dlani asel aro damrang batani asel adung thang forest development burung ko namda patani tourism ni guman aro dingthong thong nangarang ni guman ba cabinet minister sanchani ko daga ha ya cabinet meeting o bakor agba cabinet meeting o dingthong Minister ang MLA rang bakod ang tukaha aru jerangan Forest Development Minister, Tourism Development Minister, Horticulture Development Minister aru dingthang kadang ni hamrang ko jakur ai khaya chum Education Minister dingthang kadang ni officer ang public leader ang program mo bakor ang tukaha ay anching ni khasabik ba Chief Minister Conrad samani aganani ko anching daw jol khnang na unas khang an asimang ko laki aganak ta namka jeman kalong ere bai chimna simang channel ko subscribe khatpo aro like khatpo share khatpo aru namni kinchumude na simang ani James Cheran Momin Facebook page ko ba na simang follow khai donya apna mangen aru namni kinchumude na simang sir Conrad samani Facebook page ko ba na simang follow kha atnakta mangen na simang uno dingthang uni video rangko video post kha ba rangko nuksunakta mangen anching daw jol ge video ko nyang na
was to terminate two hydropower projects that was signed by the government of Meghalaya many years back. One is the Kinshi 1 hydroelectric project, and number 2 is the Upper Cree stage 1 and stage 2 projects. As you recall, that these two projects were in collaboration and tie-up with some private parties, but because of the financial non-viability of these projects or unviability of these projects and the rates coming up too high, and also the time taken by the different companies to implement this, the decision was taken by the cabinet that both these projects, the Kinshi 1 project and the Upper Cree stage 1 and 2 projects, will be terminated. But the government will and the departments concerned will immediately move for looking for new partners, or maybe the same partners also in a new format, because as I said, the main reasons was that the project in its current forms were not looking or not viable in terms of the rates, but the new technologies that have come in where pump storage and other facilities can be used, and also the combination of the water being released from one project and being used as a downstream for another project, like in the case of Upper Cree stage 1, 2. The projects also need to be changed, and hence the government will immediately, the department will immediately work on that aspect, and we hope that very soon we'll be able to have the expression of interest to move forward with these projects in its new form. The technical viability of the project was impacted. The water level they had studied again. In the initial stage, they had given a larger amount, but then later on, depending on the topography and depending on the water availability out there, the size of the project had to be reduced, and it came to a 270 megawatt project. And then after that, again, because of the fact that all the investments had to be made with a smaller project and a smaller size of the output, the viability of the project was not there anymore. So it was purely on the basis of technical viability. While we go for private parties to take up the projects, it's quite simple to give it to them. When the power is generated, we don't get much of it. We only get 12% as free power. The rest, if tomorrow the company comes and to the regulatory commission, if they say that you have to buy this power at 8 rupees, then we have no choice, we have to buy at 8 rupees. So the question arises whether how feasible it is for the state government, how feasible is it for the people of the state, how feasible is it for the government. Now today, for us to produce and go forward in a project like, say, just to give you another example, say Leshka, thousands of crores of investments will have to be made in order to produce another 100, 200 megawatts out there. Now, that kind of investment being made, say, in a solar mission which we're doing at 500 megawatt, 500 crores, which we're going to implement in the next 5 years, are these going to be more beneficial? So ultimately, one has to study the technical and financial viability of the project and see whether it's going to make sense for us to invest so much of money, especially again keeping in mind that if we give it to private sector, there is no commitment of giving us power, so we have to buy it from them at even a high rate. And number two, for us to take up the project on our own also, with MECL having a large financial stress on it even today, would it be financially viable for us to do that in the long run? That aspect that has to be seen. So the decision may sound very simple, but it has large implications in the years to come, and hence we have to be very careful. We feel that it is more important as of now today to efficiently run the system that is already existing. How do we ensure that the supply of power that we have, how do we rationalize it? How do we make sure that we are able to purchase it at a better rate and sell at a high rate whenever we can? And how to improve the overall efficiency in working of all the systems. Today you'll be happy to know that all the units of the power supply today are actually functioning. All the units. There was a time when, stage 2, 3 of Umiam was not working, or 2, 3 of the turbines were not working anything, and we were having huge loss. Today we are producing almost close to 4 million units of power a day. That's the highest we have ever produced. So I think it's important to look at these efficiencies and overall efficiency in terms of our AT&C losses. So all these areas are important. So production is also important. But as I said, we need to be very careful in where we commit our financial commitments, so that in the long run we're able to get maximum benefit for the people of the state, keeping in mind the investments we have to make. So it's a very calculated decision.